91.3. This is Real College Radio. KRSC-FM Claremore, Tulsa. True alternative music.
We're taking over this town. Get ready, because for the next 2 hours...
Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
It's all about the music, the strange, and nothing ordinary.
We're not ordinary people. We're morons.
All right. What's up?
It's Culture Shock. 91.3 RSU Radio. Hit us up on Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter.com/RSU Radio. And don't forget, you can stream us online at rsu.edu/RSU Radio. This is Culture Shock. I'm Karen Kilowatt.
And I am Turbo.
That's right. And also, you can email us now at cultureshock913@hotmail.com.
And why would people want to email us?
To tell us about their strange, unusual, crazy, fantastic stories.
Yes. This is a new show premiering today. So, yeah, if you're tuned in, you're getting your first dose of Culture Shock. And, this is going to be a show that's going to, of course, strange and shocking and all those types of words are open to interpretation.
Yes.
Everybody has their own idea of what strange or shocking is. We want to try to get all of that in there, and we certainly don't want to shed any negative light on any of these things. These are things that me and you find interesting.
Exactly, like fun stuff, like a fun light, not necessarily negative, just
right.
kind of off the wall different.
I will say, though, later on in the show, when you do your strange, stupid news stories, that we will be making fun of those people, though.
Well, yeah, because they're in the news. They're like fair game. That's what we do.
Right. Also, what you can expect in the show is Turbo's Tidbits. I'm bringing that back. Previously, during the TNT show, when I was doing that with Tip Toasty, I supplied just useless pieces of information that are sometimes, kind of interesting. But also on the show today, we have Cathleen Butler with us, who is a psychic.
She is.
Yes. So she's going to be talking to us about, some of her experiences, what it is that she does, and, talk about some things that she's, encountered. I think some of it even actually revolves around, like, the paranormal.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Loves it.
Lots to look forward to. If you have a request, go ahead and hit us up. 343-7913 is that number. Just keep in mind that this show is
all about guitar-driven rock.
Yes, we're going to keep it rock. So anyway, hit us up, 343-7913, with your comment or request. Right now, we're going to let it all hang out.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do some Weezer. Keep it here. It's 91.3. Real College Radio 91.3 FM. Hey, what's up? How you doing? It's Turbo, and you're listening to Culture Shock, and I'm joined here by...
Karen Kilowatt.
That is right, and also I am joined here, sitting right in front of me, is Cathleen Butler, who just so happens to be a psychic medium and a life coach.
Fantastic.
Yes, and so she's going to share some of her experiences with us, but first we wanted to get a bit of an intro from you as far as, what was it that, I guess, brought you to the whole psychic medium, thing?
Well, I have felt that I was given this gift around the age of 3 during actually an accident when I was 3 years old, and I felt like the gift, came from God. I have been raised was raised and still consider myself a pretty good little Christian Irish Catholic girl. And just was able to tune in and do this since about the age of 3, see spirits, know things about people, that sort of thing. But basically didn't start doing it professionally and really working with it until about 18 years ago. I did other things and basically tried to push it aside because that was a difficult thing when you're a child, and the time I grew up in, it wasn't very acceptable and very out there as much as it is today.
I gotcha. Now, you said just a second ago that there's certain things that you can tell about people.
Yes.
So I'm going to put you a bit on the spot here.
That's fine.
What can you tell about Karen Kilowatt over here?
Karen Kilowatt is a person that I believe sometimes is what we would call thinks out of the box. Mm-hmm. She's not always, her stream of consciousness or the way she thinks is more, I don't want to say scattered energy, but it's more creative. It goes in different directions, I think, at times. But I think she's able to rein that back in at times to focus on what she needs to do. I feel like when I tune in on her, there's just a lot of things going on with her mentally and emotionally and spiritually, creative-wise. I think this is just the first step in a journey for her. And I think there's also a very artistic side of her that she may have experienced or experimented with when she was younger, but I think that she's going to do more of it as she gets older, and I'm seeing definitely by the time she's 30 to 32.
Gotcha.
Fantastic.
Well, and I'm going to have to give you kudos and let all the listeners that are tuned in know right now that you were actually the one that came up with the idea, not the idea necessarily, but the show title, Culture Shock, which we ended up kind of like basing the rest of the ideas of the show around it. It was just one of those perfect moments. We were struggling. We were like, what are we going to call this show? And we were brainstorming, and
I was like driving in the car, and then I came home that morning. I was like, oh my gosh, Turbo, I've got it. Culture Shock, and we started talking about it, and we loved it. So
that is so, it really is so true. All of the people, so many people, and myself included, that come up with these ideas when they're in the car. And as I also like to say, this is, your God voice, talking to you. There are no coincidences. You get these messages, these ideas for a reason, and the reason is to act upon them or to see what you can do with them. And as I always say, from small seeds come large trees, So I'm just going to say that has happened to me so many times, and so many of my clients that I speak with, that's where they've got some of their best ideas. Is driving in the car. Something about driving in the car. And also laying in the bathtub. That's another one.
Very relaxing.
Yes, very relaxing.
Very cool. All right, well, we're going to roll through a short break here. When we come back next time, we'll be talking with Cathleen Butler again. You're listening to Culture Shock on 91.3 FM RSU Radio. And this is a new show. It's airing every Thursday from 4 to 6. So we would love to have you as listeners every week. 343-7913 is a number for your request or your comment, your critique, your criticism. We take them all. Give us a call. We're going to roll through this break. When we come back, we're going to do some more awesome music. How about some Alkaline Trio?
Heck yes.
Yes, we're going to go into the night. Keep it here. It's 91.3
FM.
91.3 FM. Real College Radio.
You are listening to Culture Shock on 91.3 FM RSU Radio. Hey, what's up and how you doing? It's Turbo, joined here by none other than
Karen Kilowatt.
Yes, and Cathleen Butler, who is a psychic medium and a life coach. Real quick, you just heard from Bad Religion with Heroes and Martyrs. Before that, we did The Frantic with Audio and Murder. We also had this, let's see, we got to go back up, Alkaline Trio. That's what it was with Into the Night. So, as I said, we're joined here by a psychic medium and a life coach by the name of Cathleen Butler. And she was kind of giving us the rundown on Karen earlier as far as what she kind of picked up from you. And I was going to go ahead and, if you will accommodate me as well, and then see what is it exactly. And I told you I didn't want to hear it off air. I want to hear it live right now, so I'm either shocked or amazed by it. What do you pick up from me?
Well, when we were talking off air, I was getting a lot of different people, coming in around you, which a lot of times that happens, people that you're close to, relatives, friends. But the other thing that I'm picking up from you is I think that you're going to be very surprised at a turn that comes in your life where you're going to feel like you never thought you would be this settled down guy in some ways with kids and everything.
Right.
And like, the good dad with baseball, softball, and all of that.
Gotcha.
But I definitely see that coming up for you. I also feel like that you went through a period, I'm going to say between the ages of 16 to 19, where at times it wasn't the happiest of times. There was difficulties there, which happens to a lot of teens, but I'm just feeling like there was something very significant there that affected you for a while and that made your whole thinking change, and it almost kind of turned everything maybe that you had thought or believed upside down for a while.
That would be a fair statement, I think. When I moved from Hawaii to Oklahoma when I was 15, and at that time I had not been with my dad. I mean, they had divorced when I was 5, so I had moved back with my dad. And that relationship has never been good. And 16 to 19 is actually, around about the area where things were like really bad between me and him. And to this day, actually, unfortunately, remain bad. But as to the idea of me being a settled down, father and dad and all that stuff, I actually have a 9-year-old. And I'm a heavy metal dad, but I love being a dad. It's just like, it's one of the coolest things and experiences that I've ever had in my life. And there's nothing I can say that would, really express how much I love being a dad to my son Shannon. So yeah.
Do you plan to have any more?
You know what? I had at one point, and now I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I probably won't. But if I do, I would more likely adopt than I would.
Okay, because I was going to tell you what I'm distinctly seeing is there's another child that's wanting to come into your life.
Really?
And I feel like this will occur in the next 2 to 3 years.
Let me ask you this then, because it could apply. Could it be the current child? See, I have him with me right now over the summer, but he lives in St. Louis with his mom. So could it be that he is going to come and live with me, or do you think is this a new child altogether?
This is a new child, and I feel like I'm
new and shiny, a new one.
I feel like I'm picking up female energy here.
Oh no, that's what I'm terrified of as well.
Now,
as I do not.
As I say to people, that this is a child that's wanting to come in. That doesn't always mean that it happens, but I'm definitely picking her up and sensing it. So, and I just think it's going to be a more settled, stable feeling that I get from you over the next 2 to 3, possibly 4 years.
Okay,
and I'm having a good feeling of it's going to be a nice comfort level for you.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm due to graduate, college here in about the next 2 years or so. So yeah, it'd be nice for it to happen after I got done with school.
And one thing I can say, and I don't want to come across as preachy.
Oh no.
But I do have a few years on you guys. So when you talked about the difficult relationship with your dad, just one thing I'd like you to think about and that you might take away today is forgiveness never hurt anybody.
Gotcha. All right, I will take that with a grain of salt for sure. Now, earlier while we were off air, we were kind of talking some more, and you kept saying you referring to I guess they as they are telling me this, they are telling me that. If you could, for the listeners and for us as well, what is it? Who is they?
Well, I refer to as they. It comes out so obviously when I'm saying that because. First, let me explain that a lot of times what I get is if it's visual, it's like I'm sitting watching a film. I'd just be watching a movie and I see the visual image. Now, the words, I hear distinctly, in my head. So I'm going to say, when I say they, how I interpret this is my guardian angels, my spirit guides, the God voice within me, but I basically refer to they as my guardian angels or people that I believe in God and the Holy Spirit that are guiding me spiritually.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Culture Shock on 91.3 FM RSU Radio, and this is the premiere show.
Yes, it is.
Yes, the very first show of Culture Shock. Of course, I am Turbo, and
I am Karen Kilowatt.
Yes, and we're joined by Cathleen Butler. She's a psychic medium and a life coach. Right now, we're going to get back into the music. If you would like to hit us up for a request,
call 343-7901.